Hello friends, I am Dr. Ranjit Pawar. Welcome you in this video on the topic of arrays in JavaScript. We have learned that a variable can hold only one value. We cannot assign multiple literal values to variable. To overcome this problem, JavaScript provides an array. An array is a special type of variable which can store multiple values using special syntax. Arrays are a powerful and comprehensive tool of JavaScript. However, there are important differences between arrays in JavaScript and other mainstream languages like C, C++, etc. In this video, you will see detailed concept of array in JavaScript with examples. The learning outcome is array in JavaScript. At the end of this video, you will able to learn how to declare and initialize an array, how to add, delete the items of an array, how to sort the array elements, and there are different methods with the array that we have to learn here. Then in the last, we have to study the objects as an associative. In the introduction part of an array is very similar to variable in that an array tells the browser to reserve a place in the memory that can be used to store information. Arrays are complex variables that allow us to store more than one value or group of values under a single variable name. JavaScript arrays can store any valid value, including strings, numbers, objects, functions, and even other arrays, thus making it possible to create more complex data structures such as an array of objects or an array of arrays. In JavaScript, an array is an ordered list of data. An array has the following special characteristics in comparison with the array of other programming languages such as Java and C++. First, an array can hold a data of different types in each slot. That is, an array can hold elements with mixed of numbers, strings, object, etc. Second, the length of an array is dynamically sized and auto-growing. Arrays do not belong to the list of primitive data type because they are objects as well. This is a common confusion among developers who assume that arrays are a special data type in JavaScript. The items in an array are nothing more than properties of that objects. JavaScript array syntax is similar to regular variables. JavaScript arrays are used to store lists of items, that is names, titles, etc. An array is a special type of variable which can store multiple values using special syntax. Every value is associated with numeric index starting with 0. There are two ways to create arrays in JavaScript. One is by using an array literal method and the other is by using the new keyword. Array literal syntax is simple. It takes a list of values separated by comma and enclosed in square brackets. In example, string array is created with 3 elements, string values. We can create a mixed array with numeric and string values also. You can initialize an array with array constructor using new keyword. The array constructor has 3 forms as given here in this example. In the first form, we can create an array as empty array. In a second form, we can specify the size of an array, and in the third form, the array is initialized with elements. As you can see in the syntax, an array can be initialized using new keyword in the same way as an object. In the example, you can see an array is created in three different ways. The JavaScript array can store multiple elements of a different data types. It is not required to store value of the same type in an array. Initialization is the process of assigning a value when an array is declared. You learned how to initialize a variable in earlier videos. The process to initialize an array is little bit different than initializing a variable. Remember that you use an assignment operator to assign a value to variable when declaring the variable. When initializing an array, you place the value within the parentheses of an array constructor. You can see in examples. Initialization the array with the value 2, 4, 6, which is assigned to the first, second, and third element of an array. So we have to consider the following points, that is, each value is placed within the parentheses of an array constructor. Second, the values can be of a same type or mixed type of information. In this example, mixed array contains a numeric and string values. And third one, the comma must separate each value. Accessing and adding an array elements. An array elements can be accessed using index, that is key. Specify an index in a square bracket with the array name to access the element at a particular index. The index of an array starts from 0 in JavaScript. In example, string array is declared with the 4 string values or elements. The first element is accessed by writing 0 in a square bracket of a string array name of an array, and it will return 1 as the first element. While adding elements to an array, on some occasions your JavaScript will need to increase the size of an array while your JavaScript is running. Here is the problem. How do you know what index to assign to the new array element? And the solution is to use the length property of an array. We can use length property of an array to add new element as the last element in the array. In example, number 5 is added as the last element using length property of an array. Again, to add items to your array, you can use the push or unshift built-in methods. We will see these methods in the later part of video. The sorting and looping an array elements. We can retrieve elements of an array one by one by using index of an element, or we can iterate through all elements using loop. Here, length property of an array is used to get the position of last element in the array. The example elaborate concept of looping array elements very easily. In example, string array is declared and initialized with the 3 string items. For loop is used to print all elements of a string array without sorting. That is, it prints 2, 4 and 6. Then to sort the element of an array, there is no need to write a separate code for that. We can use a built-in sort method that is used to sort array elements. In example, second for loop prints the sorted element of an array, and it prints 4, 6 and the next is deleting an array elements. To remove an element from an array, you can use delete operator. Deleting an element does not affect the length property and the array becomes sparse. Also, elements with the higher indexes to the right of the deleted element do not get shifted down to fill in the gap. An alternative to delete is built-in array method, that is splice. The difference with the delete operator is that splice does not make the array sparse and shifts the elements to higher or lower positions as necessary, making sure that no gap is left. This is discussed in the next section. Now let's move to important methods of an array. The first one, that is concat method. It is used to join two or more arrays. Concat does not alter the original array, but it returns a copy of the same elements combined from original array. Second one, that is join method. It is used to join all elements of an array into string. The elements are separated by specified separator. The default separator for join method is comma separator. Third one, that is pop method. It is used to remove the last element from an array. This method changes the length of array, that is one less than its current value of a length. The next one, that is push method, which adds one or more elements at the end of array and returns the new length of an array. There are some parameters. Parameters are element 1 to element n. The elements to add at the end of array we have to pass as a parameter. The next method, that is reverse method, is used to reverse the order of elements in an array. This method can be used to sort the elements of an array in descending order. The next method is shift method, which is used to remove the first element from an array. This method returns the removed element and changes the length of an array. The next one, that is slice method, is used to extract the section of an array. It creates a subset of an array. The method returns a new array and it does not change the original array. The selected elements of an original array are copied into new array. There are two parameters, that is begin and end. Begin parameter specifies where to begin the extraction and end parameter specifies where to end the extraction. The starting position is required and the end position is optional. If end is omitted, the slice extracts to the end of a sequence. As the negative index, end indices are an offset from the end of the sequence. The next method, that is splice. Splice is used to remove old elements and add new elements to an array. It changes the content of an array. The parameters are start index and remove count. The start index is the index at which to start changing the array, and remove count is a parameter, an integer indicating the number of old array elements to remove. If remove count is 0, no elements are removed. In this case, you should specify at least one new element. So we can specify that new element as element 1 to n. the elements to add to the array as a new elements. If you don't specify any elements, splice simply removes the elements from the array. The next is sort method is used to sort the elements of an array. If the compare function is provided, the function defines the sort order. If it is not specified, the array is sorted in dictionary order, not in numeric order. For example, 30 comes before 8 because the numeric sort 8 comes before 30. Means sort method basically used to sort the string elements, not the numeric elements. Then the next is toString. ToString method is used to convert an array and its elements separated by commas to a string. Means toString method returns all the array elements to a single string. The last one in that is unshift method is used to add one or more elements to the beginning of an array and returns the length of an array. The parameters are element 1 to n. The elements are to be added to the front of an array. Methods that search in an array. Suppose we have an array of objects. How do we find an object with a specific condition? Here, the find method comes to find the elements in an array. The function is called for elements of an array, one after another. There are three parameters to the function. Item is the element, index is its index, and array is an array itself. If it returns true, the search is stopped, the item is returned. If nothing found, undefined is returned. The next method, that is find index. The find index method is essentially the same, but it returns the index where the element was found instead of element itself, and -1 is returned when nothing is found. The next method, that is index of. In index of method, there are two parameters. The item that we have to search, and the second parameter is from as index number, where we have to search in an array. The index of method looks for item starting from the index from and returns the index where it was found. Otherwise, it will return -1. The include method looks for item starting from index from and returns true if item found. If we want to check for inclusion and don't want to know the exact index, then includes method is preferred. The next is filter method. The find method looks for the single element that makes the function return true. If there may be many, we can use a filter method. The syntax is similar to find, but filter returns an array of all matching elements. Let's move on to methods that transform and reorder an array. The array map method is one of the most useful and often used. It calls the function for each element of the array and returns the array of results. If the function is to count the length of each element, if element is a string, then the map function returns the new array with lengths of each elements in a given array. When we need to iterate over an array, we can use for each, for, or for of. When we need to iterate and return the data for each element, we can use a map. But when we need a single value from all elements of an array, the method reduce is used to calculate the single value based on the array. Suppose if we want to result as a sum of all elements of a numeric array, then the function with reduce method will calculate the sum and return the value, that is single value sum of all elements. In the next part of the video, we will see how array methods are implemented through the JavaScript program. Here in this example, you can see how to add and remove elements of an array. One array named ARR is declared and initialized as array of strings. Actually, we can add element of an array in three ways. One, using length property, you can add element at the end of array. Second, using the push method, you can add one or more elements at the end of an array. Here, student string is added at the end of array. And third one, using unshift method, you can add one or more elements from the beginning of an array. So string is a parameter for unshift method, and finally you can see the string s is added at the beginning of an array. And to remove elements, we can remove element using delete operator also. However, using pop and shift method, we can delete the elements of an array. The pop method deletes the last element of an array, and shift method start deleting the element from beginning of an array. When we save this program and opens in a browser, you can see the output like this. You can see the original array, the array after pushing and unshifting the elements, and also after popping and shifting elements of an array. In this program, searching methods of an array are implemented. You can use include, find index, and filter method of an array to search items in array. An array named ARR is created and initialized with numeric values. The include method search for existing of any value in array elements. If value exists, it returns true. The value 5 is in items of an array, hence that function returns true. For find method, test condition is defined. If it returns the first item who fulfill the test condition. Here the test condition is item greater than 4. Thus it returns the value 5, that is the first item who fulfills the condition. Then find index method is same as the find method. However, it returns the index of the first element who fulfills the condition. Hence, returns 4 as the index of an item who matches the first condition. And the filter method returns multiple items who satisfies the condition. The condition is item greater than 3. In the JavaScript program, the value two arrays are declared 4, and initialized, 5 and 6. One is color array and second is num array. To combine elements of an array, concat, join, toString methods are used. The concat method adds the white and yellow color strings to the end of the color array. The join method combines all elements of an array into string. Here, join method combines numeric elements into one string, and the toString method returns a string of all elements of an array, which is comma separated string. Then to sort the elements of an array, sort and reverse methods are used. The sort method sorts the string elements in ascending order, and the reverse method is used to sort the array in descending order. Hence, numeric array is sorted and it gives 4, 3, 2, 1 elements in an array. In the second part of a JavaScript program includes the remaining array transforming methods such as slice, map, and reduce. The slice method requires two parameters. The first parameter indicates start position of an array, and second parameter indicates the end position of an array. This method transforms original array into the another array starting from the start position to the end position. Here, in example, color array is transformed into slice 1, the new array from index 1 to 3, and it returns two colors, that is green and blue, in that slice 1. The next is map method. It calls the function for each element of the array and returns the array of results. If the function is to multiply the same element number with the same number, it means a square of a number, then the map function returns the new array with a square of each element in the given array. Hence, it returns the resultant array having elements 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and so on. In the second example, built-in square root function is applied on each element of an array, and it returns a new array with values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They are the square roots of an array. The map method is one of the most useful and often used method. The last one is a reduce method. The method reduce is used to calculate a single value based on the array. Suppose if you want a result as a sum of all elements of a numeric array, then the function with the reduce method will calculate the sum and returns a single value, that is sum of all elements. Here in the example, it returns 28 as a sum of all elements of an array. And here you can see the output of that JavaScript program. An associative array is a set of key value pairs and dynamic objects which the user modifies as needed. An associative array is an array with a string keys rather than numeric keys. Means associative array uses string instead of a number as an index. When treating JavaScript objects as arrays, strings are used as indices to associate each property value with the object name. Arrays of this kind are called associative arrays. This is all an associative array is, and the name comes from the association between the keys and the value. The key is a sort of generalized address that can be used to retrieve the sorted value. It must first clear that you can't create associative arrays in JavaScript like normal array. Only way you can create an associative array using JavaScript object. An empty object, we can also say the empty associative array, can be created using two different syntaxes. Or You can create an associative array using a second type of syntax, that is, name of an array is equal to collection of key value pairs. You can see in a syntax. You can store data by keys and value pairs. We can use dot property notation for assigning, accessing and deleting object values. You can use either square brackets or dot notation. The above example helps in creating an associative array employee with 3 keys and 3 values. The key can be identifier, number or a string. This is a JavaScript program to explain object as an associative array. Here emp1 and emp2 two objects are created. emp1 is having key value pairs. Raj is the key and IBM is the value. Likewise, other key value pairs are initialized. And emp2 created as an empty associative array. Here keys are act as a properties of an object. The same syntax of accessing the values of a property of an object is used to access associated value of a keys in associative array. In this program, where E1 is equal to employee 1 in a square bracket Raj, this returns a company name of employee Raj. To iterate through all values of the emp2 and associative array, for in loop is used. With this example, you will clear your ideas about object as an associative array. Here I want to conclude this topic with some summarization. An array is a special type of variable that stores multiple values using a special syntax. An array can be created using array literal or array constructor syntax. A single array can store values of different data types. An array elements can be accessed using 0 index. The array index must be numeric. Array includes a length property and various methods to operate on array objects. Arrays are a powerful and comprehensive tool of JavaScript. They are very intuitive to use and you can do almost everything with it. This is all about arrays in JavaScript.